Good night, Sports Frenzy family. Good night, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Frenzy podcast. I'm your host, Levana. With me tonight, I have Kims, I have Wally, and I have Ryan. So, I know that you all are expecting some cricket discussion, but that will be for later down in the show, man, because I'm sure that you guys want to see us either slap a man with a belt or be slapped with a belt. But we'll just wait until further down. We're going to start off this by discussing who we actually think is the greatest female athlete in terms of sprinter ever to actually grace the track. And three athletes that will be in discussion are Elaine Thompson Hira, Shelly and Fraser Price, and Florence Griffith Joyner. Wally, you're the one that actually was trigger happy to go after this topic, So I'm going to start with you on this one. Um, you know that we have to break this down, right? But just off the top of your head, who would you actually if somebody just come up to you and say, who you think is the greatest sprinter of all time, who would you actually say on the female side?
On the female side, I would have to say, right now it would be between Veronica Campbell Brown and Shelly and Fraser Price.
Wow.
Okay.
Kims, you agree?
Veronica Campbell. What you think this? You think this is a charity thing? No, brother. Right now, if we're just using obviously not a trajectory of what's going to happen, but right now, I'd have to give it to Elaine. When you talk about greatest sprinter, this is not most decorated. This is not most medals. This is the greatest. When you're the greatest, you do things that nobody else have done, right? Unquestionably. The thing is, the reason why I wouldn't give it to Flojo, there's too much things surrounding Flojo, too much asterisk surrounding Flojo. If there was no asterisk, then I'll give it to Flojo because she's a world record holder. She has done stuff that, now only Elaine is now coming to do. But Shelly and Fraser Price, no, because she have medals, I'll say Shelly is one of the luckiest female sprinters ever. I'll give her that much. Veronica Campbell Brown, I'll give her one of the most die-hearted sprinters ever. But in terms of the greatest, none of them cannot touch Elaine. If we are being honest and objective, none of them can touch Elaine.
All right, before we dig a little deeper into the subject on hand, Ryan, off the top of your head, who would you say is the greatest?
Flojo is automatically ruled out based on the fact that she's heavily tainted and she arguably died young because we all know why. So it would be a choice between Elaine and Shelly. I would give Shelly the edge at this point because of her accolades in terms of her medal haul. Whereas Elaine, I think if Elaine goes to the World Champs and she gets another 3 gold medals, and
all right, don't dig too deep yet, man. I'm going to reach there. Don't go there yet, man. I'm going to reach there.
No, man. So at this point, I'm just going to give Shelly the edge until such time. Maybe next year, it will change based on whatever.
Okay, so Wally, since as Kims and Ryan kind of put Flojo aside, I'm going to actually have to touch on Flojo a bit to see as to why everyone is just casting her aside. You have people that claim that she has taken drugs during competition around those times, while I personally believe that it was more of the wind reading they never normally just measure those wind reading as accurate as they do nowadays. So I just think it was more the wind reading more than actually drugs itself. That's just my belief. Are you just going to subscribe to what these two fellow analysts has done and say you just put her totally aside?
Well, the reason why I put her aside has nothing to do with the question signs that surround her times. Just looking at it on face value. So taking the times as legitimate. She really still doesn't qualify as it relates to her body or her body of work. So when you talk about greatness, right? Greatness has to do with several things. One, your performance at the biggest stage. So Kims has used sentimentality to dismiss medals at the highest level. But when you're doing your assessment of greatness, it is what you do at the highest level. Every sport, whether when basketball, you look at what persons do in the postseason. NFL, same thing. Every sport, the assessment is always done as it pertains to what is done at the highest level. That is the first thing. The second thing is how long are you performing at the highest level? So longevity. So not longevity and in terms of okay, you're around, but you're at the highest level for a long period. That is the second criteria as it speaks to greatness. Then the third criteria has to be how prolific you are. And with respect to track and field, that speaks to the times that you do. Which is why even though Asafa Powell is the most prolific athlete of all time, there are several that you put ahead of him because of their performance at the biggest stage. So
When you say prolific of all time, what does that mean?
The times, like the times that you actually.
I don't think that
sub
means
10 second
making
times.
prolific, but okay. I don't think that make him prolific, but okay.
What do you mean? So what if we already take medals out of the equation, then
Who's taking
it ha-
medals out of the equation?
Games.
No, I'm
Okay.
not.
I listen.
Okay.
Right.
Oh,
So
I never
I'm
know.
saying
I never know what's using Kem's logic, but okay.
no man. I'm listing three criteria. So I'm saying the third thing is his times, right? So he has the most sub 10 times, but yet still there are others who you put above him because he was just unable to replicate those awesome performances at the highest level. So Flojo had a very very short career. It was pretty much 4 years, from 1984 Olympics, and her last major championship was 1987 World Championship. In doing that, she has a grand total of 4 medals, 2 gold and 2 silver. So when you compare her to a Shelly and Fraser Price, who has um, eight individual medals, I think about 6 of those is gold, if I remember correctly, then clearly she will not measure up. Additionally, when you look at the caliber of medals and the quantity of medals for Veronica Campbell Brown, again for the same reasoning, Flojo would not measure up. Her for the two critical criteria, performance at the highest level and the associated hardware as well as longevity, she get 2 X's when compared to Shelly and Fraser Price and Veronica Campbell Brown. So that is why even taking her performances as is without any gray area concerning the times, she would not be in the equation.
All right,
Wally.
Wally, stick up in for a minute. I'm going to draw a football parallel for the time being, right? Because quite a few guys are big Brazilian fans, right? So my question to you is, why is it that a lot of Brazilian fans rate Ronaldinho so highly, yet he doesn't have that much body of work and that longevity that you talk about over
Time skill.
certain players?
What are you talking about?
He does not
Ronaldinho
have it.
has
Ronaldinho had
everything
a
here.
4-year career. Ronaldinho
It's
had
not for
4
your
years.
career as well.
He's a 4 year. Yep, around 4 years.
Right.
Ronaldinho had 4 years.
But yeah, man, right. But when
So you're going to use the same
nobody
analogy,
is
the
no
same
is
Flojo.
what
Hold on, Ryan.
nobody nobody's advocates player of all time. So
A lot of people are
Many have.
that,
Yes,
including
many have.
Jamaicans, Brazilians, all over.
Even
A
though-
lot
I'm
of
not
people
sure.
are there.
Yes.
many. The
All right.
No,
point
but
is,
we're not talking about you in a Wally. We're talking about generally.
Wally, so I have a question, right? You said there are three kids.
but I set out the criteria, and you're questioning Ronald criteria that
Hold on,
I set
Wally.
out.
I'm asking for your three criteria. They say longevity, performance at a higher level, and what else?
At the highest level, winning world championship or Olympics, and then
Okay, and what else? What's the third one?
And then how prolific you are, meaning the of fast times that
Okay. Go ahead.
But Kims, you heard what Wally had said, and he has factored in Veronica because of her longevity and her sustained period of garnering medals over the years and all of that. So on that basis, he has her up there. But you for one doesn't have her up there. So if you look at it from that standpoint, if you look at Elaine, you could say that Elaine hasn't been on the scene for that long, you know. So would longevity and prolificness at the top level on a consistent basis count against her, knowing that she has basically performed at just 2 Olympics, if you ask me. So on that basis, would that count against her being the greatest of all time?
All right. So this is how I look at it, right? Because obviously, you know, age plays a factor. If somebody obviously start do track and field before who, right? So Shelly essentially start 2008, right? Elaine essentially start, I want to say,
2015.
2015. See? So one start 2008, one start 2015. So that is a 7-year gap, right? So what we have to do now in order to be fair to Elaine as well as be fair to Shelly is to put things in its proper context, right? Because put things in the proper context. So we say, okay, in 2008, Shelly was 21, right? Around 21, right? Around there about, right?
Yeah, 21.
In 2015, 6 years.
23. Elaine was 23.
6 years. Elaine was, no, 22.
23.
She had 28
Elaine,
right now. She had 28 right now.
29. You don't know your wife's age?
Yeah, check that for me, Levon, if she had 29.
She was 23, man. She's 29 now, so she was 23 at that point in time.
All right, she was 23, right? So now we have to put things in its proper context, right? Okay, so then obviously you can't use a longevity argument for Elaine, because if a longevity, VCB gone with it. Give VCB the trophy because she gone with it, because, you know, so we can't really use a longevity argument for Elaine. Even Shelly may kind of hesitant to use a longevity for. But when we talk about body of work, when we talk about, as Wally would call it, prolific, right?
They have 13 years, you know. That is longevity, you know.
Of course, yeah.
13 years is longevity for your time.
Over a decade is longevity, of course.
All right, but yes. Elaine is in the game. Elaine is in the game for 6 years. Elaine is in the game for 6 years, right? And within those 6 years, she has achieved stuff. She has achieved things that who would have said the greatest has not been able to achieve. She has achieved times who Wally would have said the greatest has not been able to achieve. So when I look at, she has achieved stuff that no one in the world.
All right, so what balance it out?
Hold on, Ryan. Right. She has achieved stuff. She has achieved stuff that no one in the world has been able to achieve. So now when you put those things into its proper context now, then I can look at it and even when you have somebody who said they are the greatest now, then I have this runner now, Elaine now, come and beat who you say is the greatest, right? So then when I look at it right now, I can't realistically now put Shelly over Elaine, knowing say Elaine has just done more in, so we could put the 6 year span for Elaine and the 6 year span for Shelly, and who have the most successful 6-year span. Because we can't do nothing more than that, But we use a 6-year span. So you can use Shelly best 6-year span, and we are going to use Elaine 6-year span. And we are going to see who was a better achievements in that 6-year span. And me personally, I think it's Elaine.
It will be Shelly.
How is it? All right.
Because Elaine, hold on, I'm going to tell you why. Elaine flopped at 2 World Championships.
Well, she was hurt. So
yeah, but
either way, Kims, the fact still remains.
Okay,
yeah.
Still have to count it.
Okay, the fact still remains, right? Okay, but tell me this now. Tell me now which one of Shelly accomplishments match up to this, right? 2017.
So Kims, what I want to figure out is that you're just using the Olympics as a measuring stick for Elaine.
I am well.
I pointed out, Kims. If you ask me, Elaine has done superb across the last 2 Olympics, right? However, she won what? She won a silver medal at the 2015 World Championship individual 200. Otherwise than that, nothing in World Championship. That is what a lot of people are using to count against her for not being the greatest of all time, because a lot of people have her to get there, if she goes on to win the next 3 major championships that are coming, in which I know that they have 2 World Championships, then you have an Olympics afterwards. So if that should happen, if that should happen, then you know that the argument totally put to bed, because she would know of what Wally is alluding to, the longevity and the sustainability over a longer period of time. So
no, but Levon, but that's the thing. Like longevity, Elaine has just been running for 6 years.
No, but Kems, you have to factor in everything. It's not taking out one fifth for the other. You have to use everything in context.
All right. So
all three things that Wally pointed out, they have to be factored in
exactly
for you to give a balance.
Exactly.
Okay, but why?
Because what happened?
Okay, but hold on, Wally. Why are we using Wally's measuring stick? Why are we using?
All right, so Kims, I think we are using
Wally's measuring stick logical or not?
Wally, make the man turn on the calm no, General. Go ahead.
All right, so Kims, I think what Wally brought up is actually a great tool to actually use to measure it. That's just my thinking. All 3 factors are great. And if you look at it from that aspect, then you have to use it. You can't just drop one to suit your particular side of the argument. You have to factor in all 3.
No, Levon, but this is the thing now, right? Then if you're gonna use if I'm judging 3 people.
Kem, just pick up in 1 second. The reason, remember my answer, I was saying that next World Championship, if she does what she's supposed to do, then we can have the conversation that she is the greatest, because I think she is impacted by those 2 World Championships where she flopped. So which is why I'm saying that when you factor in everything into context, I wouldn't put her at the top just yet. So I should give her a few more events.
All right, understood.
And she gets up her medal hall.
Okay.
Yeah. So
has Shelly flopped at a World Championships?
She ever flopped at 2?
No, has she flopped? Has she flopped at a World Championship? May I ask you?
I don't recall any. Do you recall any?
Has she flopped at an Olympics?
Don't recall any.
Shelly come, I think it's 5th. I think it's 5th or 4th. She come in at one. I don't remember if it's the Olympics or the World Championships. One of them. I'd have to go and research it, right?
World Championship.
It was a World Championship, right?
Championship.
World Championship. But 4th, right?
But Kems.
But did she get a medal any at all?
Kems.
Or she never get one?
Go ahead.
Shakes, go ahead.
No.
Yeah. Kems. Yeah. You cannot say technically the greatest athlete come on to World Championship history for women, barring Allyson Felix. You cannot say that she has flopped in World Championship.
Why is
because
that?
She has not.
Well, the 4th.
How
well,
do
if
you
them say Elaine,
somebody,
because if they say
hold on.
No. Shit.
Wait, slow down. My talk.
No, but I never finished. You butt in and take over my talk. So you gonna tell me? No, you gonna tell me say your time to talk when you butt in and take my talk. I don't understand that. You butt in, you butt in and you take my talk. But then you're gonna tell me say your time to talk.
Hold on. I joined the thing and I hear you talking a whole lot, right? The only point I'm trying to make is you cannot say a 4-time individual 100-meter champion, right? And a 1-time 200-meter individual champion has flopped. Because guess what? When you actually check history, Levon, since I believe the World Championships has been running since about 1983, right? Outside of the men, when it come on to multiple world time or world championships, there are so few female athletes that go on to have multiple medals. Allyson Felix being one of them, right? One. Where she's a 3-time champion when it come on to 200 meters.
All right,
Fraser Price having
Felix and them, brother. Come on, we have a set time we are work with. We have a set time we are work with, brother. Come on, no man.
Having 4 individual world titles in the 100 meter and 1 in the 200 meter, she cannot be a flop.
Okay.
Cannot.
All right, thanks. All right, thank you. Right. So I see a lot of persons in the comments saying that 4th can be a flop, but that is the argument y'all are using against Elaine because she came 4th.
Hold on. Let me clarify.
That's not the argument.
Let me clarify. When Elaine she came 5th in what 2 World Championships, 19 and 17?
She came 4th in 1 and 5th in 1.
5th in, okay, good. Those would be considered a flop.
Why?
Yes, and she would be expected to be a medalist.
Because she was a champion. She was a Olympic champion.
Did she leave with a medal at the World Championship?
No, because
an individual medal? Good.
Because she did not.
Let me go a little further. When Shelly came 4th in that event, did she leave the World Championship with a medal, an individual medal?
Ryan.
No, yes or no? No, I mean
yes, sure.
If you're going to say Ryan, flop, you can't say somebody flop. Well, I'm finished. You can't say somebody flop when they leave a championship with a medal.
Yeah, she got a relay medal. Yeah, she got a relay medal. Sure.
So you can't use one event and say, "Oh, you flop at that event."
But Wally's saying that we're not using relay medals. So relay medals out tight. It's not a relay medals is out tight, right?
I said individual medal, you know.
She didn't get an individual medal at that World Championship when she came 4th. She didn't get any, right? So, but listen to this. Elaine ran at that World Championship. She came 4th, right? Then she withdrew from the 200 meters because obviously she was hurt, so she could not run. She withdrew from the 4x1 because she was hurt, so she could not run. So we have to use context in this. So we can't say, oh well, and my fault that she was hurt. So no, she was hurt. So basically, you have to discard her from. You have to say, okay, she was not at that World Championship because she was hurt. Like that's the truth and
no, you can't use that. You can't use that, Kems, because it's simple. If you're going to use the injury card, whenever an athlete is injured for any event, and this is not just athletics, Levon, this goes right across every single sport.
Athletics we are talking about no. Athletics we are talking about no. We don't want to hear about no. We have a time where I work. Just talk.
It's okay if you want to narrow your mind and the discussion.
Yes,
is not
yes, but talk, brother.
Right? Listen, I realize I get very apprehensive when it comes on to anybody stating anything that might be deemed negative towards Elaine.
Levon,
you don't have to be like that.
Levon, can you explain to that program with that time, please?
We are on a program where we want unbiased opinion. And we are supposed to give unbiased opinion for every athlete.
Levon, can you explain to the man that we have a time frame, please? Just please. May I ask you, please? Because the bag of talking thing we now work with today. Just please, Levon, please.
Kems, can you just allow the man to just go ahead and state his opinion?
Why?
Shakes, you still there?
I don't even know why you bother. Try have this discussion, Levon, because guess what? If this whole discussion is going to bias, right? And people going to get apprehensive just because they think about somebody's athlete. Listen, that is how sports. He need to understand that. He needs to understand that. That is not everything. It's not everything Wally say. Is not everything that Ryan say or that I say. Going suit his ear when it come on to Elaine, right? But you get up. You can't get up and tell us we mustn't use injuries, right?
Shakes, state your view.
Because
you're making a point and then they've gone off track. So state the point that you were making.
Listen. Nobody entered injured Elaine Thompson at any of those world championships level on. She chose to go there on her own. Right?
That's not true.
If our coach can't force her to run, her coach cannot force her to run. She is an adult, not a child, unless you're telling me that she's a puppet.
Okay. Are you finished?
All right. Wally, you have been quiet for the longest because each time you try to make a point, Kim's trying to shut it down. But now is your time to speak, Wally, because you have heard all that Kim has to say. So you've seen where the conversation has gone to. So what do you have to say now?
The thing is that Kim's is pretty much in line with the where as soon as someone shows a flash of brilliance or a stint of brilliance, we immediately thrust them in discussions with all-time greats. You long jumps for something, you must be able to put at the highest level. I remember when Bravo made his debut and everybody said, oh, is the next man make the 2 good innings, oh, is the next Brian Lara. The man not even put 1 year to get a good yet, and all of a sudden, oh, is the next Brian Lara. Boy, at this age he scored more than Brian Lara, and they start to size him up with the all-time greats, and up to now put together a body of work. You must put together a body of work before you start to be entered in the discussion of grades. Elaine is not there. She is not there as yet.
Let me ask you.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
If we are having a discussion to say, based on projection, based on current trajectory, will Elaine as the all-time great? Then sure, we can all agree, we can all converge on that. But what we're discussing is at this particular juncture, is Elaine the greatest? And she isn't.
Okay. All right. So this is my thing, Wally. You mentioned something about Darren Bravo or whatever. If Darren Bravo go out there and break Brian Lara record, then he's going to be known as, they're going to put him in some category, right? So what I'm saying about Elaine,
world record holder, that's it.
This is what I'm saying about Elaine, right?
Exactly.
When you are the greatest of all time or greatest of any sport, right? You have to do things that no one else have done, right? And again, when I use Flojo because she have a lot of asterisks, so we will take out Flojo. You have to do things that no one else have done. So you are saying Elaine has run 10.54. Shelly has never done that ever and will never ever do that. Elaine has run 10.61. Shelly has never do that and will never ever do that, right? Elaine has won the 100 meters and the 200 meter double at the Olympics. Shelly will never ever do that.
Pick up in. Just one thing. Tell me the athlete, the only female athlete to have 4 medals in 100 meters at an Olympic.
At an Olympic?
Yeah.
Oh,
the only woman to have 4 individual medals.
At an Olympics, I'm not sure.
Shelly. So Shelly has done things that Elaine has done.
She has done 4 Olympic medals, you say?
2008, 2012. Yeah. Two gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze.
Ryan, Ryan, you cannot ask him certain things because he cannot be objective.
Okay, so okay, Shelly is the only person who has won 4 Olympic medals. That's because Shelly has been to 4 Olympics. Elaine has been to 2 Olympics.
Merlin actually has been to about 12.
Oh no, I'm talking. Well,
I
talking
should
about
never do it.
Shelly and Elaine, right? So Elaine has only been to 2 Olympics. Shelly has been
No,
to
you
4.
said Shelly don't do it because you got 4. I'm saying to you that Merlin has been to many.
Okay,
and she has 3, she don't have 4.
but Merlin is not in the conversation. Why you telling me
It
about
doesn't
Merlin?
matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm not talking about Merlin, so why are you bringing up Merlin?
No. You said Shelly do it because she got 4. Like
No,
it is mandatory. Hold on,
I'm-
you said as if it is mandatory that because somebody got 4, them are got in them guaranteed.
No, but I'm saying if
So I'm
Elaine,
pointing out here that there are somebody
Okay.
else.
All right, James. All right.
Four.
Listen, guys. We have 2 more minutes remaining on this topic before I have to shift to another topic.
all right, hold on. Yes. So
I'm glad that I
I'm
started
saying-
this discussion because we have to continue it at some other time. So
What
2
I'm
minutes
saying,
to go.
if Elaine only went to 2 Olympics, Shelly went to 4. Shelly has what? Gold, what else? Bronze, silver, right? Gold, bronze, silver, right? Elaine only been to 2 Olympics. She have gold, 4 gold, right? So I'm looking at it now, and then Elaine go to a 3rd Olympics, and I'm sure that will be another gold, right? So what I'm saying is that Elaine has done stuff Shelly hasn't done, but Shelly has.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Shelly also has a silver medal in the 200 meter at London 2012. So don't leave that out.
So you have to count that into it.
Okay, but Elaine only has gold at the Olympics. Only gold. Gold is the only
So
medal
you're saying
in the
that she
video.
has 4 goals, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying that she has 4 medals. So you're counting Elaine medals in the 200 meters. You have to count Shelly's medal in the 200 meters.
You have to.
Okay.
Kem's
No problem.
in this context, Kem's context is that do things that others don't do. That is what your premise, That is the premise of what you're talking about right now, which is why I pointed out that Shelly has also done something that Elaine hasn't done.
But this is it, Ryan.
So let
This
us
is
stay on that point.
Ryan, this is my premise, right? My premise is Elaine has done things that Shelly hasn't done, but had the opportunity to do. Elaine had the opportunity to go 4 Olympics yet. So when she goes to 4 Olympics, then we will see. But she has only been to 2 Olympics and she's only gotten gold medals. What can I say about that? That is greatness to me.
All right, and my final point.
That's a long point.
Yeah, he has a point. And as I said,
argue from both sides.
but that is the thing. Both sides of the argument are making solid arguments. So as I said, I'm glad that I started off this discussion. We're going to continue it at some point. All I have to say is that Elaine needs some world championship title under her belt. And then I'll just promote her directly to the top and say nobody can tell her that she's not the goal.
Exactly.
But as it stands at this very moment, Shelly and Fraser Price is the greatest of all time right now.
Not to me.
We're not going to look at some cricket.
Yes, man.
No,
You
that
just take
this is-
just take a back seat right here, so.
This is the part of the show that a lot of people are looking forward to. So, West Indies, they actually went on and lost the test match earlier on today after the greatest of all time, the master of all, and I mean the master of cricketing discussion, who reasons cricket at a high level, who only listens to, novices on this show. Because as a man saying, the rest of them are novice, team think they're at a high level. I'm talking about none other than Timo. Timo says that West Indies would have won this game because the pitch wasn't doing much and there were a lot of overs for them to actually make this run. So, Timo, it's now time for you in a boss.
Levon,
Because the
could
people
you also add in your intro? The high IQ boss said that West Indies could not lose this test match yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Yeah,
Yes, when he was styling us as novices, he actually added that in it, that West Indies could not lose the test match.
Yeah, he said that. And also today, while they were batting, the high IQ level man said that West Indies will just reevaluate at lunchtime to see if they need to go after the runs or just bat to save the match. Neither of those
Also-
happened, so
Levon, Levon, you
There's
forgot
so
that.
many also.
Levon, you forgot
And
that.
then-
Levon, you forgot that he discredited. He was saying that his captain fantastic would hold on one end of the one end, and then we have a lot of batsmen who can also hold on the other end. So if we don't win the game, then it's a sure draw. But West Indies cannot lose. Right after
Alright,
lunch,
so,
go in.
All right. So before I let Demo chime in, I just have a bit of breaking news in regarding to the Red Stripe Premier League. I mean the Jamaica Premier League. So there'll be a playoff against two noticeable teams from Western Jamaica for the 12th spot in the up and coming Jamaica Premier League season. The game will be played in the first week of October. And as we go on, I'll give further information in regards to who the two teams are. So for the time being, just know that this is what is on the horizon. Now, Tim, go ahead. You're in the feed.
Good night, everybody. Big up everybody in the comments. Big up all the panelists. Everybody done talk now? Like, everybody get with them off the say off of their
Yes,
chest?
Demo, come double down.
All right, good. All right. So what I have before me right now is the ICC Test Championship table. It reads India topping the table after 2 games, 14 points. Pakistan after 2 games, 12 points. And West Indies, our West Indies team, this one right here, so on our shirt, right below them with 12 points after 2 games, and England battering in 4th. After 2 games, they have 2 points. All right? For me personally, I want to big up the West Indies for a valiant effort. Brilliant stuff. And if we had said to you guys here that over this summer, if we're going to play Bangladesh away, Sri Lanka at home, South Africa at home, Pakistan at home, and we would come out just losing 1 test series, everybody would have said madness me at all. But our West Indies team came out and we have done that. We have only lost 1 test series. 1 against South Africa for the whole summer. So more of a big up West Indies for a job well done. And in the context of West Indies cricket, we have done excellently. Excellent stuff. We have touched the summit of the World Test Championship. And a lot of people will not have that opportunity to say that, yo, we were first. We were first at one point, and no, we're not first anymore. Cool? Good. Now, why is everybody coming at me, telling me about what I predicted to happen? Predictions can go 1 way or 2 way. Why is everybody coming at me like this?
Because you were brother
Ryan, make him talk. Don't say nothing. Make him talk.
ask a question to not answer.
No, man.
You were brother you
talk.
were arrogant.
No,
and you were making a
Make him talk.
interrupt him. Ryan, no interrupt him, man.
Make him
No
talk.
interrupt him. Demo, go through.
Okay, so I said that West Indies cannot lose the game, right? Because of the context of the game, what was happening, because the pitch was dead and nothing was happening after Craig and Powell played excellently at the top of the order. Now, what's the point about the pitch wasn't doing anything? Like somebody who understands cricket, tell me what the pitch was doing.
Can I answer a question?
Yeah, tell me what the pitch was doing.
All of my life, I watch cricket from 1995 to now, and
Which is
nobody
actually before
wins.
Demon's time.
Nobody chases runs at Sabine on a 5th day, and
What
chases
was
that
the
amount of
pitch
runs and
doing?
win.
What was
Tell
the
me,
pitch
tell,
doing?
tell me. Go back into the history of
That's
Sabina
right.
Park
Alright,
and
so as
show
usual,
me.
Ryan cannot answer the question.
I just answered the question. Are you an
So the
idiot?
pitch was not doing
I just answered the
anything,
question.
just like I
Nobody
said.
chases. Stop talk. I'm talking. Nobody chases that amount of runs on a 5th day Sabina pitch and win.
How
So
is
your
that telling me
argument
what the
was
pitch was
stupid
doing?
from the beginning.
How is that telling me
But
what the
pitch
pitch was
never do
doing?
anything.
Alright,
West Indies
so
couldn't even
let me
bat good.
continue with the high level reasoning, alright?
West
So
Indies
the
couldn't
pitch,
even bat good on a 2nd day pitch.
okay, so like I said, in my analysis before, and my analysis remains the same. The pitch was not doing anything, and all the batsmen that got out because they played rash shots. Craig Brathwaite, as I said, he would hold down an next end. Tell me, Kems, which end did he not hold down? The man faced 147 deliveries. 147. In the context of the game, with 1 day to go, the man hold down an inning. So tell me, why come at me now? What, he didn't hold down an end?
Okay,
Did you not
let's
hold
calm
on the
down.
end?
Can I? All right, let me know when I can talk.
Talk.
All right, and when I talk, I don't want to be interrupted because I didn't interrupt you.
Talk.
So, gentle people, Demo said this, and we're going to put everything in context now because he want to talk about the 100 and odd ball or the 200 and odd ball, whatever him face, what Craig face, right?
Hold
He
it
want to
on
talk
the
about no 147 ball, 241 minutes at the crease. That he want to talk about.
Holding down
That's
the
not
end.
what we talk. That's not what we're talking about.
It is what we're talking about. You say me say him a go hold on the end. So may I show you how him hold on the end.
Host, I'm asking if you can mute this man because this man cannot follow protocol. Can you mute him, please?
Kems, go ahead.
Thank you.
Demo,
So, what I'm saying now, right?
So don't interrupt Kems.
Demo made a comment right before lunch, right before lunch. He made big bad comment. Wanna see how batsman bat, watch me captain, bat and skip. He's going to hold on this end, and then we have a lot of, and then I think it was Roddy who asked him, say, hold on, is Craig going to bat at two sides of the wicket? And he was like, no, we have a lot of batsmen that who can come down and hold on the wicket. No matter what, West Indies cannot lose this game, right? Okay, no problem. Right after lunch, Craig come back out. Right, so that was the first thing. Right? Anyway, after that, Demo. What am I say after that? Yes. After that, I said that West Indies will lose this game convincingly. Again, him come again. This time I can't talk to them like a novice, Them novice and know nothing about cricket, Oh, West Indies will lose this game. Then him start talk about if anything is going to be bad light. Bad light going to come at the end of the day, and West Indies cannot lose this game. And then as soon as now him come now,
you have to stop telling lie for me. I have to stop here again. You have to stop. That's not how the light thing come about. No bother with it.
Levon, this man never talk about. You want me pull up the comment, youth? Levon, this man not talk about bad light.
So
Yeah,
let me see that.
That's what you're talking about. That's not how it come up.
All right, so listen, the bad light was brought up while they were batting before lunch. I was the one who put it forward to Demo, and I said to Demo that last night, why didn't you factor in bad light as a means that West Indies don't go on to chase his runs? But then I also went back and I said, Demo, you say man said that West Indies had many overs to get these runs within because the pitch isn't doing anything at all.
Exactly.
So bad light shouldn't be a factor because the amount of over that were remaining,
all right,
shouldn't come in at all.
So here's the thing, and as something we may try to explain to the producer himself. With all of the rush that we had to talk about cricket, me not gonna say everything in a one thing. We are rushed to talk about the game. We just can't say whatever come to me at the time. Me not gonna factor in every single thing because we have snap to try to get through the thing, right? So I said to you, from what I am seeing, the pitch wasn't doing anything, and so with overs we have enough chance to get the runs. And if the guys had two solid players to bat round Craig and make some runs, we could have got the runs. We lost the game by 109 runs. Like if we had somebody who scored a decent amount of runs, we could have easily won the game. So I don't know why everybody have come at me like
it never was it
what?
never happened, brother. If you factor if this or if that now.
Can I say something in relation to what Demo just said?
Yeah,
and this is why you remember yesterday, Levon, when he referred to all of us as novices on the panel, I stopped because I was absolutely disgusted by what he said. Because hear what this man is going to say today. If West Indies actually has or had, because not even in the past tense nor in the present tense do they have two solid batsmen. So hold on, Levon, if he is saying that West Indies don't have that, Demo, aren't you beyond a novice to not figure out that West Indies, how would you utter out of your mouth that West Indies couldn't lose the game then?
Like you don't know the team?
It's simple. Hold on, Levon, let me tell you something. You see, let me tell you something. I went to prep school and I learned certain basic things when it comes on to prep school. I'm not even going to say you need to go high school. All I know is, Levon, if you are now telling me today that West Indies don't even have two solid people that can bat out half of a day, Jesus Christ, then Levon, in the analysis, it has to be said that West Indies can possibly lose this game. So if anything West Indies should have been doing today was trying to draw the game, not win the game, not
And
win the game.
buying a pitch.
Right? Listen, the most logical, and I'm going to use this word, logical. The most logical result anybody could see from that. Listen, Levon, you see when I saw West Indies move from 40 odd for 4 to 119 for 7, I was like, oh, guess what? So we're actually going to have an entire day of rain where there's no play and we still lose this game. I worked that out from the 4th day as a novice. Exactly. So how the high IQ man can figure that out, knowing that even if when him drink rum, him still cannot find 2 good people on the West Indies to come and bat.
All right, you finished now?
Please explain to us, Limo. Explain to us.
Like
explain to us. Down on the nonsense.
So you are saying if we for know if the team not have a good batsman. It was just the other day the team went to Bangladesh and chased down 300 yards. What are you talking about? They have majority of the same players. Or are you telling me that the team cannot chase down that with more overs to play?
Dimo, I did not say that. I did not say that. You just said out of your own mouth. You just said out of your own mouth that West Indies don't have 2 good batsmen.
No. No. I said if the guys bat properly round Craig Brathwaite, would I get the run? So Ryan just said me not understand cricket.
Brother, my youth,
Bangladesh was a lot more turning
pitch and 2 separate wickets.
Right? What? It was worse in Bangladesh. What are you talking about?
You don't understand cricket, brethren. Sabina has a history of falling apart from day 4. Nobody wins.
Fall apart. What are you telling me about wins?
Nobody wins.
Which part of the pitch? All right, tell everybody what part of the pitch.
Stop talking. You know nothing about this.
Tell everybody which part of the pitch.
Stop talking.
All right.
Tell everybody which part of the pitch.
Stop talking.
So
let me get on.
All right, let me just
Sabina
get
does not last. Sabina, you don't chase on a 5th day Sabina pitch.
Hold on, let me just ask a question.
Bangladesh is a different kettle of fish.
All right, so let me just ask a question. And I want to get in Stephen, and then Brian.
I'm gonna bring him in now.
And then
I was going to bring in Steve, but I was just waiting for these guys to calm down.
So all right. So two questions, because both of you can actually be right, you know. So historically, Demo, based on the point that Ryan is making, historically, how many instances have teams chased in excess of 300 on the last day pitch, right? So the point that Ryan is making is that based on the fact that over the years, chasing over 350 unlikely to happen, then to make an assay that West Indies couldn't lose is a little bit irrational. Naive. A little bit irrational. Naive. However, the point that Demo made, where he said that the pitch was not doing anything, I want to ask Ryan and Kim. It based on the Wusa fall, was it down to the pitch misbehaving or poor shot selection?
I'm going to ask a question. Why when West Indies bat on the pitch, them give West Indies the bowling side of the wicket for batter and they make Pakistan bat on the batting side of the pitch? Because of most that.
This is the thing.
No, man. Is novices come and roll.
This is the thing. This is the thing, Wally. This is the thing, Wally, right? This is the thing. And Ryan brought up a very good point, which Demo will always run from, right? Because on a 5th day Sabina pitch, you're not going to chase down the runs, especially being a West Indies team.
Nonsense.
You're not going to chase down. Let me talk. You're not going to chase down the runs. No, Wally, I just say the pitch not doing anything. Was Demo right about that? Yeah, the pitch wasn't doing anything. But then we have to also take into consideration who is batting on the pitch. You see, for Australia,
can I actually disagree with that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't use the word anything.
Okay.
Because the word
Exactly.
anything
The
is
pitch
an
was taken.
absolute.
The
The
pitch
pitch was not doing much.
Okay.
That is the statement that needs to be made.
All right.
The
Thank
pitch
you.
was tailor-made for pace.
Thank you, Teach. Thank you, Teach.
So you go and get wickets on that pitch.
Thank you, Teach. Right, Wally. But what I'm saying is, right, we also have to take into context the team that is playing on the pitch. So even if the pitch is not doing much, with West Indies, the pitch is doing a lot. Like, let's be honest, the pitch is doing a lot when West Indies is batting. So if you say that you're a high-level reasoner and you talk at a high level and you're smart and everything, you should have enough sense to know, say, boy, you know, put your emotions aside and say, boy, you know, I can't really put this out there to the people because, you know, like, I'm not really so sure about this. But Demo have so much pride, have so much ego, and fail to take accountability. All I want Demo to come and say, you know, I was wrong. I was wrong about it. West Indies lose the game. I said that they couldn't lose. I was wrong. But Demo has never, ever done that from I'm watching him on this show.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get Stephen in now. So Stephen, you have heard all these guys. Overall, do you think that West Indies made the best decision in terms of chasing down those runs, or they should have bat to actually try to save this match?
I was confused as to whether they were chasing or trying to save it. Honestly.
Exactly.
However, I want to say something about the pitch. Of course, yes, historically, I don't chase down over 300 on a final day pitch at Sabina. But what Pakistan did very well, they did their homework, was to bowl consistently at various lengths to different batsmen. Between a full length and a good length is where our batsmen have been getting out to spinners. Tabriz Shamsi, Hasaranga from Sri Lanka, all of them bowl in that same area. And the left-arm spinner that came on today got his chance and bowl in that same area and forced mistakes. Shaheen Shah Afridi, he bowled in that same area with a beautiful seam presentation. And so what I think Pakistan exhibited was patience and discipline. And West Indies, if you bowl quality at them long enough, they're going to make a mistake. Because one has to ask questions of the batting coach.
The batting coach?
Bonner, yes, Nkrumah Bonner keeps getting out LBW. He has great potential. But Shaheen Shah and Mohamed Abbas, they know that. So you know what they started to do? Although the pitch was not great.
One second. Nkrumah is 32, not 22. So potential is not something you can use for him.
No, he's early in his career. And they plan to give him a run. I'm not looking at his age, I'm looking at his experience in the game.
Well, that's what you meant, okay.
Yeah, so he keeps, when he's coming forward without protecting his pads. And they know that. So eventually, after bowling that after a while, he's going to be out LBW. And some questions have to be asked. Ruston Chase playing away from his body and through the line of the ball and edging to third slip. So I think all in discipline batting performance from the West Indies and excellent discipline from Pakistan. The pitch wasn't doing anything much, but excellent consistency. Perfect.
All right, Demo, what I want to get to you now, Demo, is that what you never factor in is how Pakistan has bowled right throughout the series. That is my issue with you. You're looking at it from the standpoint of the West Indies said that hey, they could have won the match. But the thing that Pakistan has done right throughout the series is that they have bowled consistently well. And as Steven just said, whenever they bowl in tandem, especially Shaheen Shah Afridi, because even if you listen to the commentators, they keep on saying that the pitch might not be doing much, but this guy is getting the ball to actually see him. He's actually getting the ball to swing. They said it on multiple occasions. So I can't see for the life of me why you didn't factor in those type of things.
I'm not alone if you do, brother. I have to tell life on me on the show. I was the one who came here and said for Kieran Powell and Craig Bartley to survive the onslaught of Shaheen Afridi and so because you're bowling so well was an excellent innings. I want to cuss and go on the most way when I say, oh, and you as the host say, oh, you can't say they were bowling well and all of that. So don't do that. Don't do it.
No,
I was the one
listen.
who came on the show and said,
You listen what I said. Listen.
So don't
You
say
said, Bossman, you said that the pitch is not doing anything. So I am alluding to the fact that,
well.
Bossman, say if the pitch not doing nothing, you say West Indies are going to chase down the run easy because the pitch is not doing anything. So I'm putting it across to you that all right, why didn't the West Indies batsmen apply themselves and bat excellently as Kieran Powell and their capo did yesterday evening to nullify whatever they did?
That's the question they must
Why
ask
didn't they
me.
do that?
Don't tell me
Because
about the pitch and tell me about me said the pitch never go. Ask me why the batsman never applied
you were the
himself.
one brought out the pitch business in us, so I'm putting
Exactly,
it
but
across
I
to
was
you.
right about the pitch. That's the whole point. The pitch wasn't doing anything, and so I made my assessment.
So
Because
why is it now West Indies going to chase down the runs?
Because they
Why
didn't
West Indies
apply
going to chase down the
themselves.
runs?
So that's where I'm getting at now, right? And so I'm going to get to the problem of the test match. But don't come and say, oh, me never give the credit to the Pakistan bowlers and all of this. And oh, like I was right about the pitch not doing anything. I was just wrong about the end result of the whole thing. So my assessment of the whole thing, and then only keep on bring up past history of Sabina Park chase. Who cares?
You are bringing up past history about
Everybody.
Listen, let me finish now. We don't use past history for judge what this pitch is. Sabina Park pitch back in the days used to shine and you could have seen your face in it and ball used to lick you off your helmet and all them stuff. This pitch was dead and flat, and so we assess the match based off of this pitch. So nobody can come and tell me about past chase and stuff like that. I understand cricket at a higher level easier than that.
You need
right?
to come out.
When they went to
elevator
Bangladesh
and
the
come
other
down
day,
the stairs.
nobody expected them to chase down
Come
the
off
road
your
with
high level.
Bangladesh.
Come out of your high rise
And all of that. And only could I use past things for judge say West Indies wouldn't win the match. But guess what? On that day, they applied themselves and they made the runs. And so more getting to the problem of what happened. This was where I was getting at. The batsmen didn't apply themselves. If you look on our top 3 batsmen in the whole series, Holder was our number 1 batsman at 37, and he's our best batsman in the team, and technique-wise and all of that. And he averaged 37. Craig Brathwaite was second with 36, and Jermaine Blackwood with 34. You see, after them 3, everything else was abysmal because Kemar Roach was our 4th highest average getter in the whole series. Kemar Roach with 19. So it shows you that our middle order didn't apply themselves, and Kyle Mears and all of these guys get to the first. Right? That coupled with the fact that Shaheen Afridi was actually world class throughout the whole thing. After me telling you say what Powell do was not normal and what Brathwaite do was not normal against that new ball. Like he was world class. And so all of that coupled with the fact that West Indies just never applied themselves caused our demise in the game. I understand what Steve mean by him never sure if they wanted to chase or draw the match. But like I said to everybody on the page, I think they were trying to save the game first, and then after lunch, like I tell everybody, they will reevaluate where they're at the moment, and then they will come out and try and see if they're going to continue to try to draw the game or win the game. And so when you see Jace Holder come out, he was batting aggressively. Maybe that's in part with him running out of partners. Kyle Mears got aggressive as well while he was playing, and he got his 30th and give away wicket before the rain come, and all of these things. So you could see where they started to change to try and go after the runs because it was gettable. The man them have 1 million overs to try and get the runs, and they needed to go at 3 runs and over. So when they don't come tell me, boy, you don't chase down this stuff and all of that nonsense because of
big man, them fall shot by 100 runs.
It doesn't matter. Assessing the thing, you cannot
need to come up with a program
to judge what is happening on this.
100 runs, the man them lose by.
All you do is come and talk some general stuff and something like you make sense. You know what I mean? Sense. Assess what it is on the day.
You're speaking for yourself?
Every commentator come on the thing and say the runs was gettable. Every commentator. So me supposed to listen to you Ryan Lawson, who don't know nothing about cricket.
I'm just saying, I was just, amazed. The ball is swinging around. The first thing you'd learn, I remember in grade years, this youngster getting up and coach told him, it was the longest on the team, get back in front of the pitch to the pitch of the ball. The ball is swinging and you leave your pads out there and you bat them. Something has to be questioned about the coaching staff, or if the coaching staff did what they should have, we have to be seriously worried. Because, Demo is talking about our rankings in World Test Championship, and I'm impressed. But we played a subpar Sri Lanka team on some flat pitches in Antigua. We did well. Don't kill me. We did very well. But I'm saying when we meet up on oppositions with the ball swinging, even when the pitch is not doing it and we're swinging, we have to work on protecting our pads. If we don't do that and getting behind the ball, things like that we learn from our 10 and 12. If we don't do that, we're going to slip and go back right down to it. Was abysmal to see the poor technical display by our batsmen. Yes.
I'm going to say something.
Go ahead.
The commentators or whoever it is that said West Indies can win or had a chance to win said that on the basis of the runs versus overs. It was only 3 runs per over. Well, not only. It was 3 runs per over. However, if you look at the amount of runs to get within that, even though it's 3 runs per over, it's too much on that pitch. It's not going to happen. Not, especially not with the West Indies team.
Right.
So
Hold on. I just want to address that point. Ryan, keep talking about the pitch. Yeah, the pitch had a little bit, but it was not doing anything really. It was disciplined, proper bowling.
Sabina has always tradition.
No, I don't want.
Listen, let me finish, man. Sabina
I was watching the game.
Always traditionally is a pace bowling pitch.
No, I'm not talking about what traditionally happens.
Once you bowl line and length, you're going to get wickets at Sabina, guaranteed. Yeah. So regardless, when you say not doing anything, yeah, I know that there's not a lot of demons in the wicket and what have you, but Sabina, once you bowl fast on it, you're going to get wickets.
No, I'm not talking about carry.
So 280 on a last day pitch is easy win. It's stupid talk.
Hold on. No, I'm not talking about carry and bunks and all of that, I thought, like in England and the ball swinging and moving and it wasn't doing that.
Yeah, but you don't need to do all of that.
What I'm saying, basic batting, basic cricketing knowledge and application of technique, we could have gotten those runs without any great.
Ball need to fly
so listen now. Alright, so listen, Stephen. The wicket wasn't doing much, right? But from when I said that West Indies would have lost, from the moment that I knew it was West Indies that is going to chase down those runs on that pitch, knowing that based on how the Pakistanis have bowled right through the series, I know they couldn't have gotten in it.
But that is the
West
point
Indies
I'm
just
making.
beat Pakistan in the last test with the same bowler. What does that mean?
Because
they were chasing.
They were chasing.
Let me put it the next way. If it was Pakistan who wanted 280 to win on that last pitch, West Indies have won the match. Because
maybe.
We would have won the match. More than likely, very likely. Based on your amount of runs to get on that last day. You're not. It is foolhardy to think you're going to chase them 280.
But it was hold on. But Ryan, it was foolhardy. Was foolhardy to think that West Indies would have gone to Bangladesh, who beat up Australia with Steve Smith, go there and chase 300 and add. Not because it doesn't happen.
Bangladesh?
It can't happen. Bangladesh, in Asia. Hold on.
Like India, we're going to do that too.
Bangladesh. Nobody argue, brother. It don't make sense.
Yes, but Ryan, they beat India down there with Kohli and then they beat Australia down there. So that Bangladesh is very strong in Asia.
Australia in T20. We're talking about Test or we're talking about T20 here?
Test, we beat them. Test match.
Yes, and they beat Australia in what? T20. So are we talking about Test or are we talking about T20?
No, in Test matches, they sweep them. They sweep them.
Just stop, Steve. Mike, tell you, Steve, don't understand cricket, boss. Just stop, bro.
So not because it doesn't happen, doesn't mean it can't.
Hold on. Bangladesh won the T20 series last week or whatever it was. 4-1. What
I'm saying, when we went down there, they had beaten Australia in the Test series before.
Right,
we're going there.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm saying, we're coming on this Sabina pitch. If we had applied ourselves, we could have won. It would have been rare, but we could have done it. We could have.
Stephen, that is the thing, though. These batsmen don't know how to apply themselves because you have a out of sorts Kyle Mayers, you have a out of sorts Rastan Chase, and then you know what you're going to get from. Exactly. And you know what you're going to get from Jermaine Blackwood. So, Jay, what did you have it?
He made me
But
proud. He got out to a good ball. He made me proud. Yeah.
producer, go on.
No, I was saying to Ryan also that Demo is saying that the cricket guru is saying that he doesn't understand cricket. So just cut.
Yes,
Alright,
so let me just finish up by saying this, please. With like, me not in the debate or back and forth. Me just want everybody to know in the comment section tonight. Context in cricket is always important, Zin. And this is the same Pakistan team. Remember, South Africa flood us, like them sweep us, and Pakistan deal with them so easily the other day, right? Now we come and we ended the series 1-1, Zin, and like I say, context is everything. The ball not only dominated us, it dominated, like the ball was a dominant factor in all this. I don't know what only batsman alone struggle. South Africa batsman struggle like on the pitch, and only Dickak probably stand out in the series the other day. And then these guys struggled as well. Huh? And the pitch is in the Caribbean, like and like the bowling dominates. So when we look at our batsmen struggling, it's like and not just we alone. So context is important. See? But I want, like you bring up Chase. Chase for me is time is done. Like the man averaged what 13 in this series, and he's batting at number 4 for us, and it can't go happen. So Chase have to go probably leave, and he's not taking wickets, and he's probably going to have to go. So like I say, big up West Indies. It was an amazing performance, excellent. And if anybody had offered me 1-1 in this series, like coming after them just whop up South Africa and stuff like that, I'd take it. So I'm happy with 1-1, and we're climbing the World Championship. So
yeah, man, I know, man, because you said that West Indies would have regretted the decision not selecting Raheem Cornwall. Kims, your 30 seconds.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
Where's that, Kims? They just needed 5.
No, man, but on a serious note, right? On a serious note, like, on a serious note, we want people come up here and be accountable or what them say. You see me? We don't want people come up here and I move the goalpost and I say, oh no, we will take a 1-1 win because Pakistan beat up South Africa or West Indies do this a Bangladesh. We're talking about a Pakistan series where in the first innings West Indies make 150 runs. Now I see a man talk about Chase average 13 in the series. Now Chase need to go, but the man will average 8 deserve another chance in our test series. I'm betting, right? So these are the arguments from always. Hey, stop talking.
No, but
right?
I tell him I have 30
So
seconds. Could I
right?
go deep in the thing and just because
you're not the host, so you can't. You're not the host, so you can't talk to me.
Finish up with what you're saying, Kims.
That's what I talk about, Levon, right? When you come up here, so and you talk sports and people are sponsor the show and them nigga thing there. When I want a body who come self-praise themselves and I say them attack a high level, come talk about a girl on the show. You see me? If you got you talk your facts and then you keep it moving and you take accountability for what you say. That is it.
Okay. Wally, you're 30. Where's Wally? I have nothing to say.
We can get him 30 seconds.
Can I get 30 seconds?
Ryan, go ahead.
You talk already. My time now.
It's great content.
Huh?
No, I'm saying great content. Great content.
Okay,
All right,
good.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, it's funny how some people go and say, oh, context is everything. Context is everything. However, when I pointed out that Sabina pitch is different from Bangladesh pitch, I don't want to hear about history because that have nothing to do with anything. And pitches, as if pitches in other countries don't have different nature. So, yeah, some of us need to actually sit down and try to learn the game before we exalt ourselves.
Okay. Steven, you're 30 seconds.
I came here and I said, when you asked me about the game, I said that West Indies would need to get between 280 and 300. I don't know if you remember. Batting first. We're going to need that on the Sabina pitch. And we got half of that, and I think that is where we started to struggle. Our batsmen have to go back to the drawing board to learn basic cricket. And you can't have your foot pointing to mid-off and your bat coming from gully and you're not covering your pad. That's just not it. But overall, I think it was a valuable performance by our bowlers as usual. and our batsmen have to come good. As you said, Demo, Chase needs to go, Karen Powell has to go, and we need to replace those two and wheel and come again for the next series.
Yeah,
No,
so we
I'm
can
not
get
saying
we
Powell have
can
to
get
go
we
now.
can get
Powell must
Wally we
stay.
can get Wally thing there for 30
No,
seconds.
yeah, no, you
seconds.
No, no, no,
No,
What
no,
if 30
because
Because
you
I
have
have the
no,
Chase King right
seconds?
now, you know.
no. Let us close this. So I don't really, I don't
What
really
if
need
30
to hear anything
seconds is
else.
for what if 30 seconds is for the producer? Dima, go ahead and finish
Thank
up.
you.
Yeah, no, I'm just there say I only have 30 seconds in and I couldn't mention everything with Chase go and why I say Chase, I wrote it down. I didn't just say it because he averaged 13. I said to you, he also is not taking wickets, and then I only have 30 seconds. So I could say his last 22 innings, him only have 250s. Zin from 6 series, him only averaged 25, and his test average has dropped from 33 to 28. He's batting at 4 for us, and he has had enough run now, and it's time for him to be replaced. So it's not just because him averaged 13. Don't come try and act like me
So
not know this.
should Powell be replaced now?
Yes, and
Yes.
Paul
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
to go as well.
I think he agrees, man. Because as
Exactly.
Dima said that it's no time for West Indies to cover for John Campbell. I saw him say.
And Campbell.
My
But
premise Pan Powell was he deserved to play in the Pakistan series. Now he's feel time to go. Like I say, he's a cricket.
all right, boss. All I'll say is that next time don't come here in that filter because they're not Steve Buckner. Steve Buckner umpire game at a high level, and your reasoning is kinda this is a disparity, so don't do it again. Disrespect to the boss. But I'll say thanks to all our viewers. You're the one that makes this possible, and thanks to our producer Josh Carlo makes it possible. And again tonight, this man was all over there in a corner laughing himself away. Right out through the entirety of the cricket discussion, this man was just laughing. And Kims can tell you that you're one of the main character on the show, man. From you were talking about Elaine, the man was laughing through it, man. But as well as said, great content. Thanks to Demo, who had the comedic purposes to the show as well, because I know that a lot of people wanted to get at you. So yeah, we'll get that out of the way. Thanks to Kims, thanks to Wally, thanks to Ryan, and also thanks to Stephen and Shakes was here earlier. For all those who haven't subscribed to our channel as yet, ensure that you do. And until tomorrow, see you guys soon. And hopefully we'll be discussing some CPL soon as well. So Dima will be back here soon again, man, because CPL is coming up. So some CPL action right around the corner. Talawas may gonna have the biggest dunce move that I have ever seen, letting go of Glenn Phillips now. The Barbados have him, so you know how that goes. As I said, until tomorrow, take care, guys. See y'all.
Big up.